Good evening, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this evening, it is the charged for 2023 St. Andrew shooting following deportation. 26-year-old Terry Davis, otherwise called Hittist, was on Friday charged for shooting of a man along Benbow Street in St. Andrew in October 2023. Davis is charged with wounding with intent, possession of a prohibited weapon, unauthorized possession of ammunition, and using a firearm to commit a felony. He was charged following his recent deportation from the United States. The police reported that about 9 p.m. on Saturday, October 14, 2023, Davis and another man were walking along Benbow Street when Davis allegedly pulled a firearm and shot the man. The man, in fear for his life, ran to escape further injury, according to police. He was assisted to hospital where he was treated and released. A report was later made to the police and an investigation was launched into the incident. On Thursday, July 24, detectives made a breakthrough in the case when Davis was taken into custody following his deportation from the United States. He was later placed on an identification parade where he was pointed out by an eyewitness. On Friday, August 1, Davis was formally charged following an interview in the presence of his attorney. His court date is being finalized. Man injured in Mountain View gun attack. A man was injured in a gun attack on Friday in Burger Gully, Mountain View, St. Andrew. The 42-year-old supervisor was taken to the Kingston Public Hospital where he was admitted for treatment. It is reported that around 8:54 p.m. the man was in the area when he was shot and injured by unknown assailants. The Elletson Road Criminal Investigation Branch is probing the shooting. Man shot in Ocho Rios. The police in St. Anne are investigating the shooting of a man in Ocho Rios on Saturday morning. It is reported that around 3:30 a.m., the man, who hails from Savannah Lamar, Westmoreland, was at the Turtle River Park when he was shot. The 24-year-old was taken to hospital where he was admitted. The police say no motive has been established for the shooting. Detectives assigned to the Ocho Rios Criminal Investigation Branch are probing the matter. OB charged in alleged bar holdup. A 25-year-old man has been charged after allegedly robbing bar patrons at a gunpoint. Robbery with aggravation and the possession of a prohibited weapon are the charges that have been laid on Terrence Lee, otherwise called OB, a laborer of Williamsfield District, Hanover, following the incident in Esher District in the parish on Wednesday, July 30. Reports from the Lucy police are that about 7:45 p.m., Lee and the two other men, armed with guns, allegedly entered a business establishment and demanded money. They reportedly robbed the occupants of cash, alcoholic beverages, and a cell phone, all amounting to $55,000, before escaping on foot in the area. A report was made to the police following the robbery. Lee was subsequently arrested and later charged after a question and answer session in the presence of his attorney. His court date is being finalized. Holness appealing Supreme Court ruling, IC ready to defend. Prime Minister Andrew Holness's legal team has indicated it will appeal a ruling in the Supreme Court handed down on July 31 that blocks the disclosure of certain files in an ongoing legal battle with the Integrity Commission. Justice Althea Jarrett had granted leave to appeal the decisions handed down in her ruling, where she refused an application by the Prime Minister's team for disclosure of several unredacted documents and similarly rejected its application to strike out aspects of the Integrity Commission's Director of Information's affidavit based on them being irrelevant and an abuse of process. In a statement, the IC said the judge held that the evidence is relevant to the claim and that the Director of Information had a duty to disclose the information. Holness's team said, given the critical importance of the disclosure issues to the overall fairness of the proceedings, the claimants sought and obtained leave to appeal the court's decision. The court granted leave on the basis that appellate guidance on the correct approach to disclose in judicial review proceedings would be beneficial to the jurisprudence. Importantly, the court also ordered a stay of the proceedings pending the outcome of the appeal. We will now proceed to prepare and file the necessary documents to advance the appeal. Holness's legal team was granted disclosure of several other documents in the ruling prepared by 3 investigators, which his team says are relevant to the investigation, resulting in an order on the Integrity Commission to provide them. The IC has since indicated it did not seek permission to appeal the judge's orders, as those orders were largely consistent with its position and the submissions its attorneys made. The Commission also said it remains ready to defend its position in any appeal which the claimants file. The stay granted by the judge means the appeal must be heard before other proceedings. The Commission says it is now unlikely that the trial of the claim, which was scheduled for October 2025, will proceed on that date. The Prime Minister has maintained that he has not broken the law since the tabling of an Integrity Commission report in 2024 that contained recommendations that the Financial Investigation Division and the Tax Administration Jamaica examine his financial dealings. Holness was granted by the Supreme Court in 2024 leave to apply for judicial review of the Integrity Commission's report on his statutory declarations, challenging processes engaged by the IC and its Director of Investigations, Kevin Stevenson. The Prime Minister is seeking a declaration that the Commission acted unfairly and unlawfully in its conduct of an investigation into his statutory declarations. Police highlight men being among victims of human trafficking in Jamaica. The Jamaica Constabulary Force has confirmed that 12 of the 76 victims of human trafficking identified in Jamaica for the period 2020 to 2024 are men. Human trafficking involves recruiting, transporting, harboring or receiving individuals through force, fraud or coercion, typically for the purpose of exploitation. Detective Inspector Kimisha Gordon of the JCF's Anti-Trafficking in Persons Vice Squad says while public attention mainly focuses on women and children, especially in the context of sex trafficking, men are also trafficked, particularly for forced labor. She noted as well that the gender stereotypes and the social conditioning make female offenders seem less believable or visible. Nonetheless, she stressed that anyone, regardless of gender, can be a victim or a perpetrator of human trafficking.
I remember clearly that within this 12, it included men from a Caribbean country that were brought here to work on a farm under circumstances that amounted to slavery. They were identified as victims. Upon them making an alarm, they were rescued. They were rescued, and the matter is now before the court. And interestingly, that matter, the perpetrator who is before the court is a female. We have several women that have been convicted of trafficking here in Jamaica. We do. We have women who are awaiting trial for having it's alleged that they have committed the offense. So women are culpable. Women are culpable, and that is one of the myths that, you know, a trafficker has a face, a trafficker looks a particular way, a trafficker has a particular gender. It is not so.
Thank you everyone for watching. See you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for another news update.